Welcome back, you guys. I'm slowly turning into a piece of toast. It's so hot out there.
Long time no talk. We got lots to chat about.
Yeah, we've been away a little while. We haven't stopped. I know, I say that every week, but
This one feels real.
it always feels real. Jeez Louise, last thing we talked about was right before Buck came. And Jen, you didn't say hi to everybody.
I said long time no chat, but hello.
So, gosh, it was just a really amazing few weeks. Buck came to the ranch, did the private H2 for Shane and I.
That was so neat.
Ty. And just super cool, super low key. It was just incredible. I mean, and Buck, watched us ride through a few horses and would help us out, and then obviously we'd watch him ride his horses, and then he even I just asked because I want to know. I have a ranch horse who's kind of in our, I'd say, C string that needs to become an A string horse. That I wanted to see what Buck would do to really help him out, and so he rode him, and we all watched, and it was
amazing.
Freaking incredible. I think it might go on the Buck channel. We'll see, which would be really cool if you guys saw it, because it was just, I had tears in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I was so grateful, and it's really cool because I've rode him 4 times since then, and each time I ride him, I can feel more and more things coming out that Buck put into him in just that one ride. And so really incredible to have that opportunity to watch and learn and feel that. Kind of made my year.
Yeah.
But I mean, all of it did really. After the ranch clinic was over, we went to Kalispell for the Majestic Clinic, which was also pretty awesome.
That was fun. That was really fun.
Yeah, there were a couple of pretty big classes, but I mean, it's a huge arena. Mm-hmm. You never felt like you were out of room or nothing. And the girls, Jen and Sammy and Brenda, all got to ride in the 1.5, so it was cool for them.
Yeah.
And then we had Connie and Catherine, Laura, and then Norbert, Carolyn, Linda. They all kind of rode from the ranch too, and that was really sweet. So there's a lot of familiar faces, and then
old friends too that we see year in and year out.
Yeah, and then it was cool because Allie was able to get there with old Grifster again, which was cool.
That was really neat.
He did great. They both did great. So, yeah, it was just intensive couple weeks of learning. And then literally the day Majestic ended, our second round of advanced clinic week guests showed up that evening. So it was just right back to work. And I think that was a pretty fun week. We had a really great group of people. Mm-hmm. Everybody worked really hard. And I mean, we did some stuff we did a lot of stuff that we haven't done in a while. And then some stuff that we've never quite done before. Yeah. So Shane had to be away for a bunch of the week. And so I kind of took it over. We did a lot of stuff inside. We did some cantering. Mm-hmm. Outside, we did cattle outside.
Mm-hmm. We had a job to do though. Yeah, that one day we had to go. I mean, it was we had to get it done. So we gathered in not gathered in groups, but sorted off a certain number in groups, and then we had to weigh them and move them and all that before. I mean, that was one of those days. we were on a timeline because it's really been toasty. For out here and for an extended amount of time. Yeah.
This will be like week 2.5 of the hot weather. There's no end in sight, but we're looking at like 106 temps, which is like
not
pretty
normal.
wild for here for this long. So we're really, even when the guests were here, we were like, we're going to have an early start.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing though is like, you come in the arena, Jen comes in whatever time. Dark 30.
I turn the fans on probably about 4:20, 4:30.
Oh my gosh. So she turns the fans on and that just literally gets the temperature to like 50 degrees inside here.
Sucks all the humidity out.
Yeah, and the insulation is just so thick that the hottest the arena has gotten, even in the heat of the day with a full group of horses and riders inside, is been 70 degrees, which is pretty freaking incredible. So nice. You walk inside and it's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's been really awesome.
The advanced week, this last one was really neat as well. Just, you could tell because Des and Wrangler's coming out from the buck weeks or the buck clinics. We kind of got to slow everything back down and really dig into our progressions. Not that we don't always, but it was neat because Des really came up with some and revisited some ways of teaching the progression so that it really was tailored well to people who have personal horses at home. Of here are some things that you need to have going on, whether it be short serpentines or really understanding the hind and front exercise or things like that. Like some things that we don't spend as much time in for a typical guest week. We got to really dive into, and I know for myself and a bunch of the other wranglers that was extremely valuable as well, and I think people took a lot home for their personal horses. So
yeah, and then on the last day, I told the guests it was going to be Canter Friday, and Shane was the grand finale. He was cool. Back, and we did a pretty cool exercise. Like we were cantering on each end, but we would be 4 people to a circle. And we did all different, like we did so many transitions. Halt canter, walk canter, canter to the trot, canter to the walk to the canter, make a cow turn, canter out of your tracks, leg yield canter. Like everybody learned so many different tools.
Yeah.
And the horses, it's so cool. They're just so handy now. Every single one of them can canter out of their tracks, relaxed. I mean, it's really cool because people were able to really feel some neat stuff. And then once everybody was, committed that you're, each rider has to be at the 3 and 9 and the 6 and 12 on the clock.
Yeah, for spacing.
And you can't, your spacing has to just be like, no matter what, you don't lose your spacing. Once that was good on both sides, then one person on each circle had to time up with the opposite person on the other circle, and they were kind of leading the circle, and then we would cross the middle. We would
shoot the gaps.
Yeah, shoot the gaps, do a leg yield, take your new lead, and then to where at the end, people were doing flying lead changes across the middle, like in an X. Yeah, like through these gaps, like boom, boom, both different directions, like just wild. So,
and it was neat too because it was a unique way to implement. It was the teardrop progressions, and
pretty
like
much.
Des was saying, people learned so much about all the different ways to take your lead, even if maybe you're having a lead that's harder to get for you and your timing and your horse. Just how many different tools in your tool belt you can kind of pull out to help set your horse up for success. But yeah, I feel like that was a great close to that week.
Yeah, it was sweet. And then I think it was just literally the next day after that, right? We
that morning. We had
the 11 head
with the one rogue steer.
One that had been the rogue steer, and we let him settle, and he still needed to get branded because pretty soon he has to go back out onto the mountains. So we're like, we got to get started early because it's so dang hot. We don't want steer to get hot. So Jen, you could take it.
Literally, I think the team showed up. Like, I jingled in the herd early. We got Shane and Dez's personal horses groomed that they were going to brand on. And then we headed out. Brenda does such a great job with the ground crew, and she was just making sure all things were set up and ready to go, so it was seamless. I think we gathered the 11 head. Shane and Des were to the outdoor arena just because it was handy and convenient. And it was actually really nice and cool because of the shade. But I think it took me probably 25 minutes to groom up both of their horses. And when I tell you, we pushed this all 11 head into the arena from the corrals. Shane already had his loop built and was just kind of following them, kind of because getting them in a spot where we could set the shot. And I think 5 head filtered out. He's like, is this the one? Yep. He confirmed it, roped it. It took off towards its buddies. He got short. Des threw another, and it was a beautiful shot to start. Des follows up, gets her heel shot, and the steer, we were going to set a front foot shot, but he kind of laid down on his own. So within the total span of maybe 3 minutes, the steer was down on the ground and ground crew was on it, and he got branded, dewormed, and then popped up, and off he went with his buddies. And
it was the easiest roping day I think Shane and I have ever had on those horses.
I think quick. Shane and Des came, we're walking to the outdoor arena at 8 o'clock. And the steer was done, thrown back onto water and grass by 8:18.
Yeah. Wild. Cool. Oh, that's so cool.
It was really neat.
So we got that done. We are working colts this week. I'm hoping next week to get on mine and Sammy on hers and Jen Doe's on hers. And if everything goes the way I want it to, I'll be riding the colts with the Women's Week guests in the arena next week. So, or week and a half, something like that. So, that's my goal for that. We got stuff going on with moving cattle here and there and everywhere, and it was doing some weed control over on McKillop right now. We had to do kind of an emergency deal with that because we did some, Jen and I and Liz did monitoring today, and there was some
noxious.
Yeah. So they're taking care of that. And then the big thing, we're in the middle of hay season, which these temps are great for. And these guys, it's Nolan, Will, Willie, CJ, Dylan, and Tyler. And they've got it all covered this year. I asked, you guys need any extra help? And they said, no, we're styling. And it's like just a well-oiled machine. It's just, they are getting through the fields, pounding it out, working their butts off, working, 10, 12, 14-hour days. So we go till it's done, but it'll be interesting to compare the numbers to last year. It was a pretty wet year initially, but we had a lot of frost in some of the mornings. So we'll see, but things look dense, things look good. So, and we're like a full hay shed ahead of where we were last year this time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah, that's what we got, man.
Here. Yep. Moving horses, getting horse pasture ready, getting cattle pieces ready.
Tommy's coming back next week.
Shoeing through the herd.
The road goes on forever and the party never ends, man.
That's awesome.
So, and we found a frog in one of my boots today, so. Toad frog, something.
Froggy.
That's all I got. I got to go finish monitoring on the computer. And Jen Doe's has got to wash some cinches.
The party never stops.
So, we'll touch base with you guys probably for Women's Week or something.
Yeah. Catch you later.
Adios.